Hi, I'm Celine. I've been a marketing director at Palmer and Reed for the past 6 years, which is probably why Dad always said I could sell ice to Eskimos. It's been 3 weeks since we buried him. Cancer's a bitch. Took him in just 4 months from diagnosis to funeral. I still can't believe he's gone. The house feels emptier than it should as I sort through Dad's belongings. My brother Marcus is supposed to be helping, but as usual, he's running late. He's always been Dad's golden boy, the successful investment banker who could do no wrong. I love my brother really, but sometimes the favoritism was a bit much. The doorbell rings, and I'm surprised to see Aunt Judith instead of Marcus. Your father would be rolling in his grave if he saw this place. She brushes past me, inspecting the half-packed boxes. Nice to see you too, Aunt Judith. Have you spoken with Harold about the will yet? The lawyer? We're meeting him tomorrow. Why? Aunt Judith sighs, lowering her voice. I'm concerned about Marcus. He's been asking strange questions about your father's finances for months before he passed. What kinds of questions? The kind that make me think he's counting chickens before they hatch. Just be careful. Before I can press further, Marcus finally arrives, his designer suit perfectly pressed despite the summer heat. Sorry I'm late, sis. Traffic was brutal. He kisses my cheek, then notices our aunt. Judith, didn't expect to see you here. Clearly. Her smile doesn't reach her eyes. The next day, we gather in Harold Foster's office, a stuffy room with too much mahogany and not enough air conditioning. The lawyer adjusts his glasses, shuffling papers importantly. Your father's estate is substantial, as you know. After specific bequests to various charities, the remainder is to be divided equally between his two children, Celine and Marcus. I notice Marcus straighten in his chair. Equally? That can't be right. Harold looks over his glasses. I assure you, the will is quite clear. But Dad always said the business investments would come to me. Celine has her career. She doesn't need the capital assets. Your father changed his will 6 months ago, Mr. Palmer. Everything is to be split 50-50. The air conditioning hums loudly in the silence. Marcus's knuckles turn white on the armrests. After the meeting, he corners me in the parking lot, his face flushed. This is bullshit, Celine. You know Dad meant for me to take over his investment portfolio? That's not what the will says, Marcus. You must have gotten to him while he was sick, convinced him to change things. I didn't even know he changed his will. He steps closer, jabbing a finger at my chest. I'm not letting you take what's rightfully mine. You have no idea how to manage those assets. Back off, Marcus. This isn't over. You'll regret this, Celine. I promise you that. His voice drops to a whisper that sends chills down my spine. Dad's not here to play referee anymore. As he storms off, I realize the brother I thought I knew died right along with Dad. I watched Marcus's BMW screech out of the parking lot. 3 days later, he called wanting to meet for coffee. Look, I've been thinking, you don't want the headache of managing those investments? How about I buy you out? One lump sum. Dad wanted me to have half, Marcus. But what would you even do with commercial properties? I'm offering market value plus 5%. I glanced at his offer. This isn't even close to fair market value. His smile disappeared. Be reasonable. You're a marketing director, not a real estate mogul. I'm not signing anything. You're making a mistake. Dad would want these assets kept together. Later that week, I was at Dad's house when Marcus walked in unannounced. Still playing the dutiful daughter? Bit late for that. I have as much right to be here as you. You barely visited him those last months. I was taking care of things while you were busy with your career. Marcus slammed his hand on Dad's desk, making me jump. You think you deserve half? You weren't even here! He stepped closer, towering over me. You have no idea what I've done for this family. My phone rang, breaking the tension. Marcus stormed out. You okay? You sound rattled. It was Vanessa, my best friend. Marcus is losing it over the inheritance. The golden boy isn't getting everything? Shocker. We met that night, and I explained everything. Vanessa, he's becoming scary, actually intimidating me. That entitled jerk. You need to stand your ground. There's something else. Dad's accounts don't add up. There are withdrawals I can't explain. How much? Almost $200,000 over the last year. Vanessa leaned forward. You think Marcus was stealing from your dad? I don't want to believe it, but who else had access? You need evidence and a backbone. The next day, I found a document in Dad's files authorizing transfers to an unfamiliar account. The signature didn't match Dad's. When Marcus came by that evening, I confronted him. Want to explain these transfers? Or the fake signature? His face darkened. Where did you get those? Dad's files. You've been stealing from him. You don't understand. I had investments that needed covering. Temporary transfers. This is fraud, Marcus. He lunged forward, grabbing my wrist and twisting until I dropped the papers. You stupid bitch! You have no idea what you're doing! I tried pulling away, but his grip tightened. Let go! You're hurting me! Drop this now, or I swear you'll regret it. He shoved me against the bookcase, snatched the documents, and stormed out, leaving me on the floor with bruises forming on my wrist. I spent the weekend nursing my bruised wrist and broken trust. By Monday, I knew I couldn't let Marcus win. I filed a police report showing the officer my bruises. Detective Rivera met with me that afternoon. Family disputes like this often escalate. Do you have evidence of the financial fraud? He took the documents, but Dad's assistant might have copies. Get whatever you can, and record any future threats. I called Dad's assistant, Michael, who agreed to meet at a quiet diner. I've been worried about you, Celine. I knew something wasn't right with those transfers. Michael slid a USB drive across the table. Your father asked me to make backup 6 months ago. He was starting to suspect something. Dad knew? He had concerns but got sick before he could investigate. There's more. Check the March emails. Marcus was pressuring your father for power of attorney. The evidence was damning, but not enough. I needed Marcus to incriminate himself. You're sure about this plan? Vanessa asked later. He's not getting away with stealing from Dad and assaulting me. What if he gets violent again? That's why I need you and Michael there as backup. I called Aunt Judith next. I'm organizing a small memorial gathering this weekend. Is Marcus coming? Oh, yes. He wouldn't miss it. I prepared meticulously, hidden cameras in the study, recording app on my phone, and fake documents placed in Dad's desk as bait. During the gathering, I made sure Marcus saw me slip into the study. He followed minutes later. Planning another amateur investigation? I made copies before you took the originals? You're bluffing. I opened the desk drawer, revealing the bait files. These show every unauthorized transfer. Detective Rivera found them interesting. You talked to the police? He stepped closer. Back up. I'm not afraid of you anymore. You have no idea what I'm capable of. Give me those files. So you can destroy evidence? I don't think so. His face contorted with rage. I took what was owed to me. Dad promised me that company, then changed his mind when he got sick. By stealing and forging his signature? It wasn't stealing. I made those investments valuable. He lunged for the files. I stepped back, bumping against the bookcase. You want to hit me again? Go ahead. But this time, you'll have witnesses. On cue, the door opened. Detective Rivera stood there with Michael and Vanessa. I think we've heard enough, Rivera said, holding up her badge. The look on Marcus's face as he realized he'd been caught was worth everything. You set me up, Marcus snarled as Detective Rivera read him his rights. You set yourself up, I replied, the weight of months of manipulation finally lifting. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of legal proceedings. Marcus was charged with assault, forgery, and embezzlement. I sat in the front row of the courtroom as the prosecutor laid out the case. The defendant systematically defrauded his dying father of over $200,000 through forged documents and unauthorized transfers. Marcus's lawyer tried damage control. My client admits to poor judgment but maintains these were loans he intended to repay. The judge wasn't buying it. These weren't loans. There's no documentation, no repayment schedule, and the signature was forged. The forensic accountant's testimony was the final nail in the coffin. We've uncovered additional transfers dating back 3 years, totaling nearly $500,000. I gasped. Even I hadn't realized the extent of his theft. After the hearing, Aunt Judith approached me outside the courthouse. Your father would be proud of you, Celine. He suspected something was wrong, but couldn't bring himself to believe Marcus would steal from him. Why didn't he tell me? He was trying to protect both of you until he had proof. Then the cancer came, and everything happened so fast. The sentencing came a month later. Marcus received 3 years for the financial crimes and an additional year for the assault. As he was led away, he glared at me. This isn't over. I'll be out eventually. And I'll be waiting if you try anything again, I replied, no longer intimidated by his threats. Harold Foster called me to his office the following week. With the criminal case concluded, we can finalize your father's estate. Marcus's portion will be held in trust until restitution is paid for the stolen funds. What about the family business? As the only remaining trustee, you have full control of Palmer Investments. Word spread quickly through Dad's business circles. Former colleagues who'd always favored Marcus now approached me with newfound respect. Your brother had us all fooled, Dad's old partner Gregory admitted at a business dinner. But you've handled this with incredible strength. Even Marcus's friends distanced themselves. His fiancée Rachel called me devastated. I had no idea who he really was. The engagement's off, obviously. I'm so sorry for what he did to you and your father. 6 months after the sentencing, I visited Marcus in prison, not for reconciliation, but for closure. I don't expect an apology, and I'm not offering forgiveness. Then why are you here? His orange jumpsuit couldn't hide how much he'd aged. To tell you I'm selling your condo to recoup what you stole from Dad, and that I'm renaming the company. It won't have the Palmer name anymore. You can't do that. Dad built that legacy for both of us. You destroyed your part of it. I'm building something new. As I walked out, Vanessa was waiting in the parking lot. How do you feel? Like I can finally breathe again. Let's go home. The weight of betrayal would always be there, but justice had been served. Marcus had chosen his path, and I had chosen mine. Some family ties aren't meant to be repaired. Sometimes they need to be cut completely. That's the end of Celine's story of betrayal and justice. What would you do if you discovered a family member had been stealing from your parent and then physically attacked you when confronted? Would you pursue maximum legal punishment like Celine did? Or would you have given Marcus a second chance? Is there a line family members can cross that makes forgiveness impossible? If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more compelling revenge stories. Your comments help us know what kind of content you want to see next. Have you ever had to stand up to a toxic family member? Share your experience below.